One of my more pleasant duties as mayor of the town is to congratulate the graduates of Springdale High School, which I do now. And you have my solemn word that I shall not refer to your bright and shining faces. I did that once, and half the girl graduates bent down to powder their noses.
You know, somewhere in Robert's Rules of Order, there must be a parliamentary law about getting a small joke into the first 5 minutes of every official speech.
At least you'll admit it was a small joke.
Well, I'll give you an E for effort. Ready? Now, surely you haven't run out of glowing phrases for high school graduates.
No, there'll always be enough glowing phrases to follow the advice and glowing promises we dole out. But between us, Minnie, they do have shining faces. And every darn time I make one of these speeches, it becomes harder and harder to see their eyes. Bright with hope. All believing they'll take the proverbial tiger by the tail when they get out in the world.
Mayor, you get pensive every graduation time. Take my word for it. What they've got on their minds is the graduation dance and how soon will the speeches end. Kids haven't changed.
No, but the world changed. It's harder to become a lawyer now than it was when I passed the bar, or a doctor, or a successful businessman. Oh, I'll admit there are less shysters and quacks, but there are more disappointed kids.
Well, I never should have let you write a new speech. Look what it's done to our day. You know what? I'm going to get out one of your old speeches and put some new jokes in it.
You got yourself a deal.
Now, dig out the one you made at my graduation.
Is it any good?
Oh, everybody loved it. It was so short. Dave.
Hello, men.
You're off work kind of early, aren't you?
I quit my job.
Oh, not again. Well, if you think just because you're my cousin you're going to get any more recommendations out of this office, you're wrong.
Don't do me any favors. I just came up here to tell you myself so you could hear my side of it first.
Is there ever any other side?
What do you mean by that, Craig?
I mean there's something completely incompatible between you and work.
You know there isn't a lazy bone in my body.
I know. It's the same old trouble, isn't it? Your boss. You can't stand the way he orders you about. Checks you in and out. Acts like he owns you. This time it was Joe Langdon at the garage. Before that, it was the foreman at Mr. Burke's factory. And before that...
Lay off, will you? I'm sorry, man. Honestly, I am. You've tried to help, I know, and you got a right to be sore.
Oh, it isn't that, Dave? Mayor Russell, you remember my cousin, Dave Lewis?
Of course. How are you, Dave?
Fine, thank you, Mayor Russell. I don't want to disturb you. Nice to have seen you, Your Honor.
Lose his job again? That's too bad.
Here's that graduation speech if you want to take a look at it.
Yes, bring it in, will you, Minnie?
Yes, sir.
You know, I really thought Dave would get along fine with Joe Langdon. Joe's such an agreeable man.
Oh, Joe is sure. My cousin couldn't agree with his own echo.
Call Langdon. I'd like to know what happened.
Oh, Mayor, you did more than you should have when you recommended Dave for me.
Is this the speech I made?
Mm-hmm. Joe Langdon, please. Mayor Russell calling.
Thanks. Hello, Joe. Fine, thanks. Say, what happened about Dave Lewis? I see. Well, so he's a hothead. You have kids of your own. I see. Of course I understand. Well, thanks anyway. Sorry it didn't work out. Give my best to your missus. Bye, Joe. He says Dave's a competent workman,
But insubordinate, can't take orders. Oh, it's the same old story, Mayor. Forget about him.
No, that's the easy way. You can't brush off a fellow like Dave. Springdale made quite a fuss over him when he came home from service. Had quite a brilliant war record.
Oh, sure. I was proud of him, too. What are we supposed to do, keep a war going just so he can have a steady job?
You must like a fellow a lot to get that mad at him.
Oh, that's the trouble. I do. Why, when we were growing up, Mayor, we were more like brother and sister than cousins.
What about this attitude, this resentment of having a boss over him? It sounds like something psychological, something deep-seated. How about his childhood?
Good, raised on a farm. Oh, looking back, I realized that my uncle wasn't what you'd call a successful farmer, but, oh, there was always so much love around the place he never would have noticed.
Maybe Dave should have gone back to farming after the war.
And don't mention farming to him, you'll snap your head off. Well, he'll just have to find himself, that's all. He's a big boy now.
He will. Is this the speech I made at your graduation?
Mm-hmm, there's the date.
Mm-hmm. And you still came to work for me?
Mayor! Butch! Breakfast ready! Butch! You're going to be late for school! Mayor! It's almost 8 o'clock! Well, who can that be at this hour of the morning?
Is the mayor at home?
Mayor, for heaven's sakes!
I locked myself out picking up the paper.
Well, I must say, it certainly looks terrible for the mayor of the town to be standing outside the house with his robe on.
You're right, Morelli. Next time I'll take it off.
Oh, please, eat your breakfast. Everything's getting cold. Butch, how many times have I told you not to jump down those stairs? That boy is part pogo stick.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Butch.
How grouchy can't you get?
Let's not try to find out. Morelli, let me hear you say cheese.
What?
Cheese.
Cheese.
Say it again. Cheese.
Cheese.
You see? She's not grouchy. She's smiling.
Oh, you do?
Hi. Anybody home around here?
Why, that's George Marin. Hello, George. Oh, how lovely.
You soil-digging, plowing old son of a gun. It's about time you showed up.
And you speech-making, handshaking politician, you never find time to drop into the farm anymore, do you?
You're right. You know, we could all do with a restful day in the country, especially Morelli. We'll drive out Saturday.
You mean it? Oh, boy!
Now you're talking.
Meanwhile, let us get over with breakfast. George, just in time.
Breakfast this time of day? You lazy city folk.
Huh? George.
Sit down, George.
Yes, go ahead. Take my place and I'll get you some nice hot coffee.
Thank you, really.
Well, how are things on the farm, George?
Tom, I've seen things more flourishing. Now, you take with the mayor, he can get better at a job the longer he works at it. But with farming, it's different. Takes more than speech-making or even know-how to raise a good crop. Thank you, girl. One thing, takes good, strong back, and I haven't got that.
What about Jess, your grandson? He helps, doesn't he?
Oh, sure he does. Don't come any better than Jess. But Jess is just a boy, only 14. Oh, we'll have a fine farm when Jess gets out of agricultural college.
What's that?
Well, that's a place where you go to learn new ways of farming. Scientific, they calls it. You know, there used to be a lot of people that laughed at what they call book learning farming, but not me. I know better than that. Only, guess a little late now for me to start going back to school, huh, Tom?
School?
Yep, I got to skedaddle if I'm going to get all my work done before dark.
Me too. I've got to get dressed.
See you come Saturday.
Mayor! Mayor, come back here and finish your breakfast.
Bye, Morelli.
Oh, honestly, you fix them a nice hot breakfast and they walk out on you. Well, no wonder I'm so tired. Oh, dear.
All right. All right. Office of the mayor? No, he isn't in. Who's calling, please? Yes, Miss Dinwiddie, may I help you? But Miss Dinwiddie, that's a matter for the police.
What?
Yes, I'm sure the police will take care of it. You're welcome, Miss Dinwiddie. Goodbye.
Miss Dinwiddie? What's your complaint now?
She says she has a peeping Tom.
Miss Dinwiddie?
I think it's just wishful thinking, Mayor. Let me see. You have a council meeting at 2, and Frank Dunlop will be here at 4. He's bringing over a breakdown on the cost of the proposed street repairs.
Uh-huh. Get Dave Lewis on the phone.
Yes, sir. Dave Lewis, my cousin?
Mm-hmm.